All right, let's dive into a massive controversy that's stirring up one of India's toughest exams, the Chartered Accountancy or CA exam. There's a huge question on every student's mind right now. Is there some kind of secret negative marking system, a hidden penalty that nobody was ever told about? We're going to unpack it all.
So, where did this all kick off? Well, it all started with just one single answer sheet. But this one sheet sent absolute shockwaves through the entire CA student community. And it's making thousands of them question the very system they've put all their faith into. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Negative marking in CA final exams? You see, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the ICAI, has a really clear policy for its main descriptive papers. But what one student found on their answer sheet seemed to just completely defy that policy. Okay, picture this. A CA final student is checking their financial reporting paper, and they find something that just seems impossible. Well, other steps in their answer got marks. One specific step was marked with a -5. Yeah, you heard that right, a deduction. A penalty that actually dragged their score down. So how is that even possible in an exam that officially says it doesn't have negative marking? This one discovery created this huge clash. On one side, you've got the official rules, what the ICAI has published for everyone to see. And on the other side, well, you've got this student's real documented firsthand experience. And this is where it gets wild. Look at the difference here. The ICAI's policy is crystal clear. There is no negative marking in the descriptive papers for CA inter and final exams. That's the rule students have been studying under for years. And yet, here we have solid proof of a 5-mark penalty being slapped on a paper. This isn't just a tiny mistake, it's a massive contradiction. So, the mystery just got deeper. With all these students demanding answers, an explanation finally came, but from a pretty unexpected source, an insider. A Central Council member of the ICAI actually took to social media to try and clear the air. And this quote? This is the heart of the matter. Dr. Rohit Ruwadia Agrawal confirmed on his Instagram that this deduction was completely intentional. He said, and I'm quoting, "It is as per guideline of the examiner, and that an examiner may deduct marks for that mistake." So this wasn't some random error. It was policy. A policy that apparently was a complete secret to the students. So here's the crucial thing to understand. This isn't negative marking, like you'd see for a wrong multiple choice answer. This is a system of penalty marks. You're not losing points for getting the final calculation wrong, but for how you actually present your answer. So what can you get penalized for? Well, according to the council member, these penalties are for things like using the wrong format, quoting the wrong accounting standard, or just not presenting the answer in the specific way they want. Now, the idea might be to teach proper presentation, but for students, it just feels like they're being punished by a secret rulebook they never even got to read. And this brings us to the real human cost of all this. You know, for someone trying to become a CA, these exams aren't just tests, they are absolutely life-defining moments. Think about this staggering fact for a second. Every single year, thousands of students fail the CA exams by the tiniest margin. We're talking just 2 or 3 marks. When the stakes are that high, a secret 5-mark penalty isn't just a deduction. It can be the single thing that separates a pass from another 6 months of grueling, nonstop preparation. The original source actually used the Hindi word bida to describe this feeling, which translates to a deep pain or anguish. And it's the perfect word. It captures that emotional gut punch of just missing your goal. For these students, every single mark is precious, and losing points to a rule you didn't know existed just feels so incredibly unfair. And look, this isn't just an isolated issue. It's really part of a much bigger pattern of problems students are facing. You hear these stories all the time. Answers marked with a green tick, meaning they're correct, but then they're given 0 marks. With no real way to appeal, this whole penalty marks issue feels like the most obvious symptom of a system that a lot of people feel just isn't transparent enough. So, in response to all this growing frustration, students and advocates are pushing back. They're not just asking for an explanation on this one thing anymore. They're calling for some pretty big changes to make the entire process more transparent and, well, more fair. And this call to action has really boiled down to 3 very clear demands for the ICAI. Number 1, issue an official clarification. Number 2, explain these weird marking issues. And number 3, give students a limited right to appeal. Okay, first demand, make it official. An Instagram post from one council member just doesn't cut it.
Students are demanding that the ICAI publish its full, detailed marking rules, including any and all penalty marks, right on its official website so every single student knows the rules of the game.
Second, explain the inconsistencies. If an answer is ticked as correct but gets 0 marks, students absolutely deserve to know why. That little bit of clarity would go such a long way in rebuilding trust and ending all the confusion that so many are dealing with. And finally, give them a safety net. The demand is for a limited right to appeal, especially for those students who fail by just a handful of marks. This would just allow a second pair of eyes on their papers to catch any potential errors that could be holding back their entire career.
And that leaves us with this one critical question. This isn't just about marks or rules, is it? It's about fairness, it's about clarity, and it's about the futures of thousands of aspiring professionals. If the system becomes more transparent, could it change everything for them? That's the hope, and that's the fight. Thanks for joining this explainer.